So we're back, of course, talking FF7, we're talking Rebirth, and we're back with a similar topic we've done a lot here recently, sort of Rebirth at a gaming event. Can we expect to see anything? I'm going to try not to keep you guys too much with this video. There goes the cat. Rebirth will be at Paris Games Week coming up on November 1st through November 5th. I'm not sure if we can expect to see anything because we just had Thailand Game Show, which did have like a stage presentation. There wasn't a whole lot of new information coming from Thailand Game Show, but we did get a bit of new gameplay, got to look at some of the mini games and things like that. But also we had a shit ton of like interviews coming out of Thailand Game Show. The fact that we're still looking at translations and things from these interviews. So there's a lot that came out of Thailand Game Show surprisingly, and we weren't sure if we'd get anything with that event, and we technically did. I don't know if we'd get anything now. I did learn about Rebirth being at Paris Games Week from a Reddit post, which will of course be linked in the description below. And I've seen like comments and replies on the thread talking about probably won't see anything till Game Awards, which I think does make a lot of sense. It's like the next big gaming event coming up. But somebody also mentioned that like they don't usually show trailers or something at Paris Games Week, which isn't entirely true. Like for one, The Last of Us Part 2 had like one of its trailers at this event, which is obviously that's one of the bigger releases in a long time, one of the most anticipated games in a long time. But also like somebody also pointed out that Square Enix themselves have done something with this event with like Final Fantasy 15. Looking into it, like 6 years ago, they did like an hour and a half stage presentation for Final Fantasy 15. So yeah, it's not just a gaming event that you go to and like, play games or play demos or something. They do have like reveals and trailers and presentations and shit. Does that mean we're going to have something for Rebirth? I don't know, because we knew ahead of time that Hamaguchi was going to be at Thailand Game Show, so we had at least an assumption that there was going to be something revealed there. And it wasn't, again, a new trailer or massive new gameplay, but there's still some pretty good information. And these days, it's kind of hard to know what Square Enix is even going to do, right? Because before we ever got the Summer Game Fest trailer, the assumption was Tokyo Game Show, and then we had that rumored PlayStation Showcase, and then that happened, and there was no Rebirth there, so everybody's like Tokyo Game Show, and then they ended up having a trailer at Summer Game Fest, and obviously we got the big presentation at Tokyo Game Show, and then like another trailer, like a State of Play before that, so it's just like hard to really guess what Square Enix is ever going to do. And then again, another reason why I do these videos, like it's fun to like talk about and speculate, or the anticipation kind of build, is there going to be anything at these gaming events, but it's also to inform people about Rebirth being at these gaming events, because I obviously have people that watch the channel kind of all over the world, and if you're somewhere in the vicinity of Paris or Paris Games Week, you could go there and play the game yourself. So it's partially that's why we do these type of things too, but also it's just fun to just talk about Rebirth in general, and we're always hoping for another trailer. Again, I think the Game Awards at this point makes the most sense, but you just never know where Square Enix is going to pop up and what they're going to show or talk about or whatever. There could be something revealed, because we still have a few days until Paris Games Week, obviously. So if they want to have something here, they could announce that within the next coming days. But at this point, as of right now, they just have this like little thing that we should probably read on like the Paris Games Week website. A video game monument, the Final Fantasy saga has won over millions of players since the first episode in 1987, but if there's one episode that has marked an entire generation, it's Final Fantasy VII, released 10 years later on PlayStation. The immense popularity of this episode prompted the Japanese publisher to develop a remake, bringing this iconic game up to date. 2020 players were able to discover Final Fantasy VII Remake, the first of the 3 chapters that make up this remake. With the release of the second chapter just a few months away, visitors to Paris Game Week can finally play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth for the first time in Europe. And that's kind of it, right? I don't know if there's any other information about this event, or specifically Square Enix at this event. I don't know if there's any devs that are going to be involved. It might simply just be there to play. Like, if you're there, you get to play the game, and that's all this is about. And that's perfectly fine. We've had quite a bit for Rebirth in the last, couple weeks, couple months. There's some people who think we've seen too much already. I think that we still needed a couple trailers. They're probably going to do a trailer or something at Game Awards or within the next few months, and then a launch trailer. And I don't know if they're going to do anything beyond that. I expect at the minimum 2 more trailers. I don't know if they're going to do other presentations. I think you sort of need to do it, or at least a really extensive like interview, because you need to explain like the skill tree system. We've not seen that yet, and there's other stuff. We haven't seen the weapon cores. I think in the playable demos that people had, like you can't even like access the weapon core stuff. So I don't know if they're changing some of that shit from like what it was in Remake. Maybe Rebirth will have the weapon core system, but a little bit different or new or whatever. But there's just aspects of the gameplay we haven't seen. There's other parts of the world we haven't seen yet, and they obviously want to show off in trailers and things. So I don't know if they're going to do any other presentations. But definitely we need a couple more trailers just to show off some other things we've yet to see. And then I'm perfectly fine after that. If we get like 2 more good-sized trailers, maybe another presentation sort of thing, I'm perfectly solid. We don't need anything else after that, probably. At the same time, I'm not somebody who like gets bothered by spoilers or whatever, so if they want to keep showing a bunch of trailers, I'm fine with it, dude. You can't show me too much of this game. That's just impossible for me. It's more or less the video. Like I said, I'm not trying to keep you guys too long with this. We'll keep our eyes and ears on this event, just in case there maybe is potentially something shown here. I don't know anything about the event. I don't think I've ever kept up with it, so I don't know if there's any talks of trailers or showcases or anything at all for this event. But regardless, that's the video. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are interested. In the description below. Follow me on Twitter, @davidbusiness. That's it. Bye.
Used to care what people thought. but now I care more, and nobody out here's got it figured out. So therefore, I've lost all hope of a happy ending, depending on whether or not it's worth it. So insecure, no one's perfect. We spend it with no shame. We blow that like Coltrane. We in here like Logain, or leave it like Cobain.